cast out that old serpent called the devil. And Satan was the seed of the whole world. He was cast out to the earth. His angels were cast out with him.
Shalom, my brothers and sisters.
Shalom, shalom.
One nation, one power.
The devil a liar.
True
That's
church.
why I pray to a higher. That's why I call him Yeshaya. Because I know he a liar. Hey, I know the devil a liar. Hey, I know the devil a liar. Hey, the devil a liar. That's why I pray to a higher. That's why I call him Yeshaya. Because I know he a liar. Hey, I know the devil a liar. They said the devil deceived the whole world. I know the devil a liar. The devil a liar, the number one deceiver. He gave us his holidays full of paganism, me still won't believe it. No Sunday worship is a hell day, but you think it's okay. He lied to your face, you worship a false god, but it's not a day. The seventh day that the most high hallowed on the seventh day, that's called
We're
keeping
going to
commandments.
go into
The preacher tell you ain't got to.
the self portion
So you
today.
follow Roman Catholic. Yeah, they
Okay.
give you religion. And you taught us to your
We're going to be
children.
going into
You
the
call
self
them the wrong
portion
names,
today.
call us Satan the biggest deception in history. Jesus, I lied, Jehovah. Got Satan working, taking
Get
over
your,
my God,
your
skirted,
self
and I know
portion
it. He
on, my
opened my
brothers.
eyes to the truth. Now I'm sober. My family's still drunk in his word and don't know it. Satan got the world how on his shoulders. He teaching the kids it ain't good to be sober.
I'm
So
going
when
to
the
your
demons at your
prosper.
head, them gateways are always gonna be open, so he taking over. The devil a liar. That's why I pray to a higher. That's why I call him Yeshaya. Because I know he's a liar.
Stick of Judah.
I know the devil
We're
a liar.
going into that today too.
I know the devil a liar. The devil a liar. That's why I pray to a higher. That's why I call him Yeshaya. Because I know he a liar.
I hope y'all ready to eat. My brother got some good meal for y'all.
I know the devil a liar. I can't lie, I can't run with the devil. He can see the whole world if you let him. No way I can scoot down to his level. He in your bird with a shepherd, saying like crazy. Nothing on babies, say he made them. Got the whole world going crazy. Renew your mind daily. Trap them bodies in slavery. It's quick fix. No longer whipping your wrist. Put down the gun in the bricks. And you gotta follow the scripts. We in battle, can't fall, can't slip. Cause the devil gon' lead you in pits. But how you gon' lead you a bliss? Keep your head up, can't fall, can't trip. The devil a liar. That's why I pray to a higher. That's why I call him Yeshaya. Because I know he a liar. Hey,
I know the devil a liar.
Hey,
He's the father of all lies.
Devil a liar.
No truth shall be in him.
devil a liar. That's why I pray to a higher. That's why I call him Yeshaya. Because I know he a liar. Hey,
I know the devil a liar.
hey,
I know the devil a liar.
The devil will try to deceive you. The devil will try to mislead you. Avoid the temptation. You gotta put down the world and stop all the evil. They eating us lies, saying we slaves, knowing that we are the chosen people. They gave us religion and holidays. It's all lies and wide awake. Saying put lust on your heart. You wanna tell
Brother
you
Reyes.
one nation, one power. That was his plan from the start.
Right, Northern Kingdom over here.
Southern Kingdom here.
Southern
Knowing
Kingdom
that we
over
are
here.
righteous, see, don't let the
One
devil
nation,
deceive
one
you.
power.
The devil will
No
never
longer
win.
being
Nah,
deceived.
you
No
gotta
longer
put down
being
the
in
sin.
two nations.
You
We're
gotta
coming
fight from within.
together
No
as
one
one
curse
nation,
we in.
considering the Most
Calling
High,
the
who is
Shire
that one
rebuke in the
power.
spirits. It's not in the scriptures.
That
I don't want to
candlestick has
hear it.
been
We know that
relit.
it's time is up.
Amen.
The chosen
Hallelujah.
people
One
rising
life,
up.
one law,
Hey.
one
devil
love.
a liar. That's why I pray to a higher. That's why I call him Yeshaya. Because I know he a liar. Hey, I know the devil a liar. Hey, I know the devil a liar. Hey, the devil a liar. That's why I pray to a higher. That's why I call him Yeshaya. Because I know he a liar. Hey, I know the devil a liar. Hey, I know the devil a liar. Hey,
You gotta tell the truth and shame the devil. That's what the Most High asks us to do.
Welcome, welcome to One Nation, One Power, the Church of Christ. This is Brother Makai Wow, Israelite, and Brother
Dreads.
from One Nation, One Power. We're gonna attack the devil today. Okay, we're gonna attack the devil. We're gonna expose his lies. We're we're gonna get that little foundation, you know, that little just as it says over there in with the skyscrapers. You know, you got a tower of lies, just as it says, the tower of what is it? Babel. So we're gonna crumble it down. Okay. I don't know if you guys ever played Jenga blocks before, but we're gonna take and pull out each and every individual block that the devil has lied. Okay. We're gonna pull one out and we're gonna pull another out part by part. Okay. Because if we were to prophesy in part and or in full, the whole thing would just crumble down like that. But most of us said we're gonna prophesy in part and we're gonna do things in part. So this is what we're gonna do with the devil's teachings and all of his lies that he's done. Is that we're gonna pull them out part by part and piece by piece. Okay. But we want to give our praises to the Most High, Ahaya, Asher, Ahaya, in the name of Yeshaya and the Ruach Kadash. Okay.
All praises, all praises.
And I said before, get out your sealed portion. Okay. Get out your sealed portion. We're going to be going into this book today. We all know that there's bones in it, but we know we throw out the bones and we eat the meat. Okay. Throw out the bones and eat the meat. Get your apocrypha out. Okay, we'll be going into that too. And also get your stick of Judah out. Okay? Get your stick of Judah out. Alright, so let's go to Seal Portion, chapter 86. Okay? Seal Portion, chapter 86. But we're gonna read the headline first, okay? We're gonna read the headline. As it says right here in chapter 86. Great inventions and technological advancements are established by Satan to control the world and institute his plan in fullness. Most of the advancements come from the desires of the United States. The world lies under great sin because of these advancements. Okay? Of these great advancements. And if you guys look at it, what does the military and everybody else boast? You got China over here, you got Russia over here, you got the United States over here, always competing and seeing who's going to come out with the best technology, or who's going to come out with the first coronavirus vaccine. See, they're always fighting and bickering and back and forth, saying, oh, I'm going to do this, oh, I'm going to do that. It's all talk. Okay? But we're going to go into it, okay? So we're going to go into Seal Portion chapter 86, and we'll go through 1 through 4, okay? 1 through 4. And it says, and now there shall be much confusion in the latter days, okay? And now there shall be much confusion in the latter days because of these blessings which Satan shall give unto those who follow his plan. Or rather, there shall be much confusion because of the power of the nature that Satan shall use to institute the giving of his blessing to those who follow him. Behold, it is the design of the plan of Lucifer to make the days of our probation easy and labor free, so that we might partake of his blessing without toil or labor, enjoying the fruits that he had provided for us by following his plan. Verse 3 says, and now in this thing, Satan used the same some principles of the plan of the Father in his own plan. For the Father hath also promised that in his kingdom there shall be no more toil or labor, and that all shall enjoy the natural blessing of peace and happiness forever. Read verse 4. Nevertheless, it shall be shown unto you the plan of Lucifer, and the plan of Lucifer shall fail miserably, and his promises of providing eternal peace and happiness as we have been promised by the Father. Okay, so you guys already know that thing that's been going on over there in the book of Thessalonians, right? It said peace and safety, then come sudden destruction. This whole entire world, we've been focusing on peace and safety. peace and safety. You know, that's what Satan desires is peace and safety, but it's not going to happen. We can't have peace and safety when this world is given to the hands of the wicked in Job 9:24. See, this earth is given to a people, while the chosen people are sitting at the bottom right now, having to go through all this. Okay? You want to get a 2 Corinthians for me?
Yep.
Chapter
2 Corinthians
chapter 10.
chapter 10, verse 3 through 5. This is in the southern stick, the stick of Judah. Again, 2 Corinthians 10, 3 through 5, and it reads as follows. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh.
Mm-hmm.
For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty, through God to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ.
Say that again one more time.
Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ.
Do you hear that? Every thought gonna go back to the Most High. Okay. No matter what wickedness that we're dealing with, it's all gonna go back to Him. Okay. So let's go back and we'll read the sealed portion 86. Okay. The sealed portion, chapter 86, and we're going to continue to read, and we're going to start off in verse 11. Okay. And it says, and we're going to read to verse 14. So, still portion, chapter 86, verses 11 through 14. And it says, and now, my brothers and sisters of the latter days, I would that you should find the date when this revelation and these words of the Lord are given unto Joseph. Yeah, ye shall see that they shall be given unto him after he hath established the church of God for the last time upon the earth. And you shall see that Satan hath not yet at time had been released to complete power over his own dominions according to the words of the Lord. And if you know this time, you also shall realize that up until this time throughout the history of the children of men, very little progress was made in the advancements of science and technology, even in the understanding of the powers of nature, how to control these powers and morality. Okay, so we already know that Joseph, you know, he was given, you know, this information. Okay, he was given this information, but it was given to the Gentiles first. We didn't have our hands on this information. But now that these books are going back to the rightful owners, we know how to get everything and lay it on the table. We know how to feed it to you guys because it's coming back to us. The same knowledge that, you know, our forefathers had, you know, the same knowledge that Christ has given to our forefathers, it's coming back to us in these generations, in these last days, established by the true church of Christ. Okay? Because, you know, you got the Mormons who say that they're the true church of Christ, but yet they're linked up with the 501c3, which means, you know, state and church are together. Now, they're not separate. So if you're dealing with 501c3, you're dealing with the government, and the government is being established by the powers of Satan. Okay?
Which is an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that Satan puts forth is simply an illusion to keep the children of men distracted.
Correct.
From the truth that is. To keep children of men distracted from receiving the promise that was given unto the children of men from the beginning of days.
Mm-hmm.
It's a false screen.
Yep.
I got a precept, brother.
Give that, brother.
On this illusion. Okay. This is from another one of our works. The Truth's Good News. Okay. And we're going to read from chapter 1 to chapter 2 on the illusion in mortal existence. Verse 2. Mortal existence is perpetually seeking in source, seeking knowledge. For there is no life apart from the origin of life. Ignorance of the source of life generates anguish and fear, which are like a fog clouding mortal vision, so that mankind cannot perceive the realities of their existence. This is the reason error is powerful. It is generated in its own world, a world of illusions and falsehoods, in which mortal mind is trapped, unable to see the divine reality which is beyond those illusions. Error's illusions are often beautiful and desirable to mortal mind, but in the end, they melt like the mist they are. And those who embrace them as their reality are left with only darkness in their place. The evils of mortal existence do not reflect the nature of the parents, the father and the mother. They take nothing from divine perfection, for it has no part in them. The parents are the source of all good, the way, all light, the truth, and all life, the life. I am the way, the truth, and the life.
John 14:6. You guys already know that.
That which is not of these flows from errors of illusion.
What is the main thing that's in front of our faces right now that causes the illusion? Television, your phones, false reality. Okay, false reality. And how do they use in regards to all that, with the camera? Okay, that is how the devil is using the same things, the same layout that the Father had planned from the very beginning. He's using almost the same layout, but he's using it in this world, which means if he wants to spy on you and use his eyes, he has to use the camera. Okay, he has to use the camera. I'm getting chills right now just by saying that, but he's using the camera to spy on all people. Okay, and he's using just as the scripture says, he's the prince of the air. Okay, and with all of these frequencies, these 5G towers, that's able for everything to speed up a lot quicker than you back in the day. When they first came out with the first Apple computer, which the estimate cost of it, was like $666 or something like that. Okay, but the Father, he already has everything established. Okay, the Most High can use our eyes to see everything that's going on, but Satan, he's using cameras. Satan can't see through our eyes, but the Most High can. So Satan is using cameras to spy on us. You want to get this one up too, brother?
Yes, sir. 2 Chronicles chapter 16, verse 9. And it reads as follows. For the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth to show himself strong on the behalf of them whose heart is perfect towards him. Herein thou hast done foolishly. Therefore from henceforth thou shalt have wars.
So now you know. Now you understand. Most High sees everything. He knows everything. He knows you before you even popped out your mama's belly. He knows how many hairs are upon your noggin. He knows from your beginning to your end. He sees all and understands all. That's why he is all knowing, all powerful. Okay. Now we're going to go to Proverbs chapter 15, verse 3.
Proverbs chapter 15, verse 3. And it reads as follows. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good.
Well, what?
Beholding the evil and the good.
The evil and the good. So the Most High, he can link up through our eyesight, just as our eyes are our windows to the soul. And he can also use the technology that Satan has used to spy and know what's going on, that the wicked are using on the righteous. Okay? Man, this is a great lesson. We're going to keep going.
Spirit speaking to me again, brother.
Uh-oh.
Appreciate it.
Go, lay it out, brother.
This is coming from the Truth's Good News again regarding what we just read in Proverbs 15 and 3. So listen to this. This is verse 3 of chapter 1, Truth's Good News. Mortals are neither good nor evil. light nor darkness, yet they are all these, for they are fallen. Their source is light, but they have fallen into darkness, power. The light of truth glows, Salakia. The light of truth glows within them, but they are permeated with the mist of darkness. So that shroud of darkness filters us. It covers us on this earthly plane because of the illusion and blinds our eyes from seeing the spiritual things.
Yep.
Okay. Which obscure the light. Light entices them to itself, while darkness enwarps them. They are pulled back and forth by the responses of their mingled natures, to light and to darkness, neither one nor the other. They flow unceasingly, their minds as stable as the water in a jar, which is tipped back and forth.
Just look at it like this, okay? If you look at the sheep on the farms, they know their master's voice. Another strangers they don't understand. But when it comes to dark, they're like, I'm not going nowhere. I can't really see. I have terrible eyeballs. But in the daytime, that's when they go and get their graze on. Okay? So, we as the sheep, as the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, the Most High said, I will get sheep out of this fold. He was talking about, the sheep over there, and he was talking, Yeshaya was talking to the sheep over there in the southern kingdom, the Holy Bible. He says, I got to go and get sheep that are out of this fold. He was speaking about the fold and the sheep that are over here in the northern kingdom. Okay, inside the Book of Mormon. Okay, we are those lost sheep that the Most High went out and collected and stuff like that. Living in this dark world, that's where Satan has more power over the Most High sheep, because we don't know what's going on. But now that the Holy Spirit has come to us, we are starting to understand everything. We're starting to see where that wolf is coming out of the sheep's clothing. We're starting to understand all these curses that have been placed upon our people. We feed them detail for detail. And these Ish people over there in the state of Israel, they're not prophesying. They're not prophesying nothing right now. They're gaining the riches that the devil has set up for them. Okay? Now we're going to go to the sealed portion, chapter 86, verses 15 through 19. Okay? Sealed portion, chapter 86, verses 15 through 19. And it reads, And then when he had established his seat, and after the restrictions that were placed upon him by the Father had been lifted, then shall he begin to introduce these exceedingly miraculous advancements in science and technology, that he shall revolutionize the matter of living throughout the whole earth. Yet, but in the beginning, only among those of the earth who are rich, for the purpose of introducing these miracles among the children of men is so that their lives might be more easily lived, and that they might pursue the selfish desires of their own happiness, without laboring so tenaciously by the sweat of their own brows, as is commanded by the Lord in the beginning. I'm going to pause right there real quick, okay? I'm going to expound on it, okay? So the Most High says, look, if you're not sweating from your eyebrows, if you're not putting labor out there inside of this earth right now, so that you can appreciate and understand, due to your humbleness, that He got so much better waiting for you on your when the kingdom comes over here. He wants you to work hard at this wicked kingdom, so that you can know what it feels like to rest when you get into His kingdom. But that is also a curse in itself, because we as the children of Israel, we deal with the sweat of our eyebrows, and that's a curse that's been on us. Okay? But I'm going to keep going right here. It says, in verse 16 again, for the purpose of introducing these miracles among the children of men is so that their lives might be more easily lived, and that they may pursue the selfish desires of their own happiness with the labor of so tenaciously by the sweat of their own brows, as if it were commanded by the Lord from the beginning. And ye shall know from this record that hath been the plan of Lucifer from the beginning, even the power and the blessings that he hath given unto the rich and powerful who have followed his plan and have been given the reward for following him. 18 says, and one of these blessings is the easiness and the leisure of life, which the rich enjoy all things. Nevertheless, the manner of life of the rich since the beginning until the time that Satan shall have the restrictions of the Father lifted from him is not easy and leisurely as the life as which shall lead him in the latter days, when Satan shall show forth his power by using the miracles of science and technology, reward those who follow him. Verse 19 says, and since the beginning there have been many men who have known the laws of nature and who have introduced some of those knowledge of those laws among the children of men. And Satan hath also inspired many men since the beginning with the same knowledge that the prophets of God received through ministrations of the Holy Spirit. So pause. We already know who those men are, right? What is it? That dude that sticks his tongue out? Albert Einstein. And then the Nikola Tesla dude. See, these guys, they had knowledge, but Satan intertwined and says, look, man, I'm going to do this for you. So you're going to how to make a light bulb. Or I'm going to allow you to drive your own car. So this is all the stuff that Satan has used with technology. And, look where it is today. We're able to talk to each other through phones. We're able to talk to each other through computers. Cars can drive themselves nowadays. Not too long ago, my uncle, he was boasting in his pridefulness. He showed me this car, he don't have it no more, but, it was able to drive itself. Okay. I'm like, man, this technology is going crazy far now. Okay. And a lot of this technology that we have, it's fallen angel technology. Okay. The thing that's going on over there in Cheyenne Mountain, okay, with the technology over there, that is like the brainstem of Satan's madness. That's where he becomes Dr. Evil over there, okay? He uses Cheyenne Mountain as a brainstem. So the brainstem sends signals in waves to, these other 5G towers and, to the Pentagon and to, the White House, etc. And it also goes into these doomsday planes. Okay, that frequency, the prince of the power of the prince of the air, Satan, who has it in his hands. So he's going to keep going and going. Okay, so we're going to go to what?
Second Thessalonians.
Yes, sir.
2 Thessalonians 2, 9 and 10. And it reads as follows. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness or unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved.
Oh,
man.
You hear that? They want to keep going in their own wickedness, that they don't want to be saved.
Man.
Just as that Jezebel spirit that's over in the book of Revelation, hey, she didn't want to repent. There'll be a lot of people out there that they don't want to repent. They love the wickedness. The line's already drawn in the sand. You're either going to perish over here or you're going to live in righteousness over here.
Yes, yes, yes.
And did the sister say that over there on the land too, huh? So, hey, don't bring that wickedness over here. You'll be swallowed up by the earth. Okay, let's go to the still portion, chapter 86, and we're going to read 24 through 27. Okay, still portion, chapter 86, 24 through 27, and it says, and I have already explained unto you that let's see. And I have already explained unto you that when the wicked use these powers for their own purposes, which are the purposes that Satan would allow them according to his plan, then great misery and destruction shall come upon the earth. And if these powers are left unchecked by righteousness, they would soon destroy the earth which the Father hath created to bring happiness to his children, not their misery that they shall suffer by the misuse of these laws. And it shall come to pass in the latter days, when the Father hath no longer told him abound, that Satan shall have no further restrictions upon him. He shall begin to use his power to reward them that follow him. Verse 27 says, and in that day that he shall begin to rage in the hearts of the children of men and have power over them, there shall be many who shall introduce into the world their inventions and their ideas and their contributions, which shall use the laws of nature to do the bidding of Satan in all things. Say, now you got mankind bidding Satan in all things. Satan is using, he's accepting it. He's like, okay. He's like, you want to bid? Cool, bid with me. Come on down. Now I'll take you down, sign your name, do it in, we'll do it by blood sacrifice, of course, you take one of your family members out or something like that. Hey, sign your name, cool. Don't say nothing. Same with these little pastors and preachers. Oh, just speak what you know, and don't tell the rest of your people about what's going on beyond politics. See, a lot of these people, they already made a deal with the devil. They're dancing with him right now, and they're going to dance right downstairs to the lake of fire. Okay? Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 29.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 29. Lo, this only have I found, that God, Ahiah, hath made men upright, but they have sought out many inventions.
They have what?
They have sought out many inventions.
Same thing with precept right here in 27. And it says, I'll read it to you guys again. And in that day he shall begin to rage in the hearts of the children of men and have power over them. And there shall be many who shall introduce the word of their inventions. Okay? So mankind, same way Albert Einstein, Nikola Tesla, them dudes, coming out with these inventions, George Soros, Bill Gates, all these dudes. The Elizabeth chick over there in Europe, she's not my queen. She's not my queen. I'm not gonna call her queen in my eyes. She's nothing. By praise she comes with repentance. So, okay. Same with all these wicked people who are in authority right now.
Yes, because remember, the Most High extends his hand to all children of men.
Mm-hmm.
As he said, he created all of us. He hates not his creation, but he despises the things that we do.
Yep.
Because the things that we do in this temporal life are not of the Father.
Yep. Okay, let's go to Ezekiel 11, 2-7.
Ezekiel chapter 11, verses 2 through 7. And it reads as follows. Then said he unto me, Son of man, these are the men that devise mischief and give wicked counsel in the city. 3, which said, is not near, let us build houses. This city is the cauldron, and we be the flesh. Verse 4, therefore prophesy against them. Prophesy, O son of man. And the Spirit of the Lord fell upon me, and said unto me, speak thus, saith the Lord Yeshua. Thus have ye said, O house of Israel, for I know the things that come into your mind, every one of them. Every one of them. Ye have multiplied your slain in this city, and ye have filled the streets thereof with the slain. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, your slain, whom ye have laid in the midst of it, they are the flesh, and this city is the cauldron. But I will bring you forth out of the midst of it.
So that's what we gotta go do. Gotta prophesy, go and rescue our people from out of the snares of the devil. Okay, Satan is out there like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Don't be on his list. Don't be that body with a price tag on your foot. Okay? Our weapons of warfare are not what's that saying, brother? Our weapons of warfare are not manifested or something like that, of the flesh. Everything's all being taken care of in the spirit. That's what we gotta take our war to. We gotta fight the devil in the spirit by getting down on our knees and pray. Okay, gotta pray. Let's go to Seal portion chapter 86. Seal portion chapter 86, and we will look at verses 45 through 48. Watch this one. Okay, you guys are gonna be shocked when I give you guys this one. Okay, you guys ready? Seal portion chapter 86, verses 45 through 48, and it reads, "And it shall come to pass that the people of the United States shall rise up their standard of living above all other standards throughout the world, and they shall have an abundance of all the fine things of the world. And Satan shall begin to introduce his ideas into this great society, and he shall be their God." What? He shall be their God. Who's God? United States God. Okay? Lowercase g. A lowercase g. He's a little g. That means you can step on him and put your foot on his neck. Okay? He ain't a big G. He ain't an triple O G like the Most High. Okay? Verse 46 says, and to mock the plan of the Father, yea, even to show forth his power among the people of the United States in the latter days, Satan shall cause that they shall inscribe upon their money of the words, "In God we trust." Watch this. What did I say again? Right there in 146.
And to mock the plan of the Father, yea, even to show forth his power among the people of the United States in the latter days, Satan shall cause that they shall inscribe upon their money the words, "In God we trust."
You see that right there? In God we trust. Is that what they put up on their little dollar bill? And all our people out there are trying to put this in their damn mouth, you nasty heathen. See that? See, in this right here, that pyramid right there is an actual landmark over there in the Israeli Supreme Court building. Okay? This little pyramid right there, that is over there in the Israeli Supreme Court building in the state of Ish. Okay? So let me tell you, if you're a brother out there or a sister, you're trying to strip and throw your dollars and trying to put this crap in your mouth, you a heathen. You nasty. Put that stuff and get rid of it. You know how many crackheads out there, they be using $20 bills to use as a straw and snip that line of crack on the table? Yeah, that money's gross. And you be putting that stuff in your mouth. That stuff's nasty. Don't be doing that. Okay? Put it down. You're so much better than that. Okay? Quit being like these heathen Gentiles out here. We're not like that. You're so much better. Okay? You're a special people. You're a chosen people, a royal people. Okay?
And see, this all goes back to those illusions we were speaking about before, to keep us from retrieving the promise that the Father gave unto us. Okay? And we just got to realize that we've been tricked and fooled. All the children of men. We were the main scope, but in order for their plan to work, they had to fool all the children of men into believing in their falsehoods.
Even Adam and Eve.
There you go.
Even Adam and Eve.
There you go.
Okay, I'm going to read that to you guys again in 46. And to mock the plan of the Father, yea, even to show forth his power among the people of the United States in the latter days, Satan shall cause that they shall inscribe upon their money the words, "In God we trust." And verse 4 says, "And I have already explained this unto you, that they shall trust in their money above anything else upon the earth. Verse 48 says, and because of the miracles of their technology and their sciences, many of the people of the United States shall not know what is the sweat by their own brow to sustain their lives, but they shall spend all the days of their lives to pursue of money and fine things of the world and honors and glories that they have set upon themselves. Woo! If, hey, if you're watching this, you're a football player. Does your daddy tell you, hey, son, follow my footsteps, be a football player? Or, vice versa, if it's somebody out there that want to be a rapper or a songwriter and they made it onto the world like Beyonce or somebody like that, and they looking at it like, daughter, you should do the same thing. You should do the same thing. See, it's all generational. We all have been in this world to where we can do selfish gain. That's all this world wants is selfish gain. The rich get rich and the poor get poor. That is not going to go away until you shot cracks that sky.
You're about to crack it.
You better get on your knees and repent. Okay? I'm going to 1 Timothy 6:10.
1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 10. For the love of money is the root of all evil. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows.
Can't have two masters. You're going to love one and hate the other. So let me ask you, do you love your money and hate the Most High Power who created you, who put you on this earth? So I'm going to tell you right now, me and this brother over here, we love the Most High. We don't need money in our lives.
Overflowing with love for him.
We have blessings already. And these blessings that we already have, hey, my treasure is already written inside the word. That's what my treasure is. Treasure is knowledge. And soon, hey, knowledge is going to be power. We're going to use it in a righteous way. Not like these heathens out here who are trying to gain it for their own gain. Okay?
And that's what the Father is looking for you to do. He's seeking for you to find that knowledge so that he can open you up and give you more, so that you'll have that chance to receive that righteous redemption. Okay? Can I just mention something real quick, bro?
Yeah,
Spirits talk to me again. I'm not even going into depth on this because I did a lesson that's on my Facebook, DeAndre Sweets Andreas, regarding the first president of the United States. My brother just showed you the dollar bill. We just gave you the precepts regarding that dollar bill and the statement, in God we trust. Whose face is on that dollar bill? George Washington. Okay? In Gematria, the number 1 stands for the head of all things, the lead, the creator, the one who is in charge, the one who puts forth the manifestation of all things. Okay? The Father. Okay? And then his name means the tiller or farmer of the field, from the estate of a man named Wasa. Cain was the first tiller of the earth, correct? And his sacrifice was not seen worthy. One, because he gave of the inferior fruit, but most importantly, because of the feelings that he had towards his brother of envy, of greed, of anger, of malice. Okay? Which is what money and all the other deceitful things of this world bring into the hearts of the children of men. Okay? Cain was the first tiller of the earth. George Washington's name means the first tiller or farmer. He was the first president, Masonic president, Mahonic president, established to run the so-called United States of America. Okay? So as Cain spoke that he was truly the first priest of Mahon, the order to carry out all these secret oaths and combinations to get gain by murder, George Washington took the place of him in this current day as the first president of this United States of America. And then in 1871, the United States of America transformed itself from a country to a corporation because of all the wars they had fought overseas and against our people here on this land. They were falling into debt. So at that point in time, we all became debt slaves. Okay? And again, it was in regards to us wholly, but they had to fool everybody into working in this plan, which is why you see every single man, woman, and child above working age working to live, just to live so they can die,
Yep.
which is what man taught you. There's no other life after this. You only live once, YOLO. Get it all now so that you can rest later. But you're not going to rest if you're still trying to get what Satan has taught us to get. That rest is not going to be for you the way you think it is. Okay?
And expounding on top of that, my brothers and sisters, is that Satan's plan is for us, okay? It's for us to be born into this earth, get all of our shots before we go to elementary school, go to elementary school and do kindergarten to high school, okay? No matter what life you live in, go to college, get yourself a degree, work for at least 30 to 40 some years, retire at 65, and probably die around 80 something years old and have like a 15-year retirement plan, okay? This cycle has continued over and over and over again, but nowadays the retirement age was at 65. It's gone higher than that. I see people at work that are like 80 some years old. I remember this dude I used to work when I was pushing carts over at King Supers. There's this Gentile brother. He was over there. He was like 82 years old. He was 82 pushing carts. So everything that Satan has promised you, hey, it's all a lie. It's a lie. Stop believing in lies. Stop believing in false history, false reality. Look at the scriptures. Ask the Most High to get rid of that veil that's in front of your eyes, and so that you're able to see the truth. Because I can ask a lot of people out there. I can ask a lot of people, can you prove your faith? Can you prove everything that you're speaking on? Can you show me your faith? Can you show me your works? Okay? And a lot of people they can't come back with that. They want to stick to precepts of men, one man antichrist. Oh, the two witness man thing or whatever. Okay? The 7-year tribulation. I see a lot of Christians and our people still stuck in that matter. Okay? So we got to get out of it. So we're going to go to Seal Portion chapter 86, verses 56 through 59. Okay? And it says, now all these things that shall come to pass in the latter days shall come to pass in the fulfillment of the words of John, which he wrote, saying, he that doeth great wonders, so he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them who dwell upon the whole earth by the means of those miracles which he had hand the power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image. What? That they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by the sword and did live. Okay? Doesn't the Bible go on and speak on that? Say that the beast was wounded and then somehow he survives. Okay? So we're going to keep going. In verse 57 says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as that many who would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And now this image of which John has spoken is the standard of living that you shall think in the latter days is the standard that should be set for all people of the earth. And those who do not want to live by the standard, ye shall sit and ye shall go forth to battle against them and slay them, to cause them to bow down to your nation, which causes the standard to be given to all. Verse 59 says, and the beast shall promise the standard unto all who worship it, and it shall say unto all, peace and liberty and justice for all. Is that what America Is that their little quote unquote little signature thing, whatever they use? Hey, and get this, Gabe. When a country is in debt, what do? They go in their little conference room like, oh, our numbers are going down, our economy's going down. We need to come up with a plan. And then some brilliant dude in the back who's farting back here said, oh, I got a plan. Hey, let's choose this piece of land over here, and let's mark it up. Let's send a division in there. Okay, let's set everybody up. Just the same thing what they're doing with these ISIS people. Okay, you're using them people over there as a decoy. Okay, you gotta remember they're hunters, so they're gonna use a decoy to be set over here while they're doing stuff over here, and you're focused on the decoy, but you're not understanding what's going on over here. Okay, so then a lot of people, the United States, they get their people and they set up camp over here. Okay, like, oh, I want this land because it got oil. Oh, I want this land because it got more slaves of the Most High chosen people over here. Okay, and so with that said being, they go to war. They go to war because they want to clear up their debt. Okay, and then after that, when they go to war and they win, then they send in the American Red Cross, and then they want to send in their little bogus missionaries of the Catholic Church, and the Catholic Church goes, no, yeah. Then they have a little white Gentile dude in a black uniform with a little white tuck right here. Okay, here, take some of this sacrifice. Oh yeah, and don't forget about the Mormons too. Let's put them over here because with all these Christian denominations over here, oh, that will make the tribe of Judah, that would set up the southern kingdom to become Christians over here, and so that they can be distracted. And over here, we got the Catholics and the Mormons over here. Let's keep them for the northern kingdom. Okay, that's what they do. That's what they do.
And they do it because they are careless.
And they do it very craftily too. Very craftily. So we're going to go to Revelation 13, 15 through 18.
Revelations chapter 13, 15 through 18. And it reads as follows. 15 through 18. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Pledge of allegiance, right hand on your arm, mark of the beast in your forehead, saluting, just like they do in the military. What?
The mark of the beast has been here.
It's been here, my brothers and sisters.
17. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark of the name of the beast.
Get your social security card. You're born with a number.
Or the number of his name. 18. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
There you go.
That's your 666.
There you go. Okay, now we're going to go to First Maccabees.
First Maccabees?
First Maccabees, chapter 1.
I got you, brother. First Maccabees, chapter 1, verses 38 through 53. And it reads as follows. Insomuch that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them, whereupon the cities was made an habitation of strangers, and became strange to those that were born in her, and her own children left her. 39. Her sanctuary was laid waste like a wilderness. Her feasts were turned into mourning, her Sabbaths into reproach, her honor into contempt. As had been her glory, so was her dishonor increased, and her excellency was turned into mourning. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed, according to the commandment of the king. There goes Rome right there. Commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. For the king had set letters of messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice, and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels, of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh, and uncleansed beasts. We've all heard this. We all know this.
You guys
we see it on a daily basis. That's why we're chuckling. Because this is what we do. This is what they've taught us, and this is what we have likened ourselves to through that illusion. Okay? 48. That they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation, to the end they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. And whosoever would not do according to the commandments of the king, he said, he should die. In the self same manner wrote he to his whole kingdom, and appointed overseers over all the people, commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice city by city. Then many of the people were gathered unto them, to wit, every one that forsook the law, and saw they committed evils in the land, and drove the Israelites into secret places, even wheresoever they could flee for succor. 54. Now the 15th day of the month, Caslu, in the 145th year, they set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar, and builded idol altars throughout the cities of Judah on every side. 55. And burnt incense at the doors of their house and in the streets. And when they had rent into pieces the books of the law, which they found, they burnt them with fire. And wheresoever was found with any the books of the testament, or if any consented to the laws, the king's commandment was that they should put him to death. Verse 58. Thus did they, by their authority unto the Israelites every month, to as many as were found in the cities.
There you go. So what they did is that they changed laws, they changed times, they changed seasons. They set up the abomination of desolations, what Christianity is so-called been searching for. Okay. They killed the wise men of the Israelites, and then they raped, robbed, and murdered the children and the wives of the Israelite men. Okay. You know, the devil put all this right there in front of them. Okay. Back in the day, we weren't able to read the Bible. We weren't able to read it. But now we can read it. Now we're understanding everything. And like I said, goes back, to the knowledge of our forefathers, coming right back to us in this generation. Okay? We already know, and the reason why I went because of swine, because in Leviticus chapter 11, it said that the swine is an abomination. The swine, you guys read the stories in the Gospels, right? Where the demons, they came out of that man, and then they went into the swine, and the demons asked Yeshua, it says, "Are you come to torment us before our time?" And that's when the swine ran off into the cliff and they drowned. Okay, the swine was meant for use being like a filter system upon the ground, just as the shrimp, the crab, and the lobster bottom feeders, catfish, all that, crawdads, all that stuff. They were meant to be used as filtration systems of the earth. And we as Israelites, we weren't supposed to eat it. We already knew that. Our people were killed if they didn't eat swine, just as it says in the book of Maccabees. Okay?
And we about to get there real quick, brother. Spirit's leading me there right now.
Mm-hmm.
Give me one moment, family. It's in 4 in that one? Or is it 3?
Here we go to chapter
2, 7.
7.
This is the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 7. Verse 1 and 2. It came to pass also that the 7 brethren, which their mothers were taken and compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh, and were tormented with scourges and whips. But one of them spake first, said thus, What wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die, rather than to transgress the laws of our father.
Ooh, there you go.
They were ready to perish for righteousness' sake. They knew that consuming that swine would make them unclean. And instead of hearkening unto the commandments of the tyrant that was over them, they chose to continue to follow the Most High. Okay? So that they would have a chance at that everlasting life. Remember, many of our ancestors died not seeing the promise that is getting ready to come, but they died in faith of that promise, knowing that it is. So right now, those ancestors are looking down upon us, waiting for that day when we all come back together. Both those that are still here today, that continue to walk in righteousness and endure until the end, and those that have passed on before us in righteousness, or did not get the opportunity, as the Father said, to know the truth because their lives were taken before they got the chance to know the truth. Okay? But these are things that have all been forced on our people. And the 4th book of Maccabees, which was taken out of the Apocrypha, continues on that story about Eleazar and his 7 sons and the various devices that were taken out upon them and used upon them if they did not choose to hearken unto the commandments of the tyrant and join their Hellenistic ways of life. Okay?
There you go. Let's go to...
Spirit was leading me on that, brother. I'm sorry, I went past the
That's all good. Wherever mama's leading you, we gotta listen. So we're going to go to Ezekiel chapter 20. Ezekiel chapter 20, verses 1 through 13. Okay?
Ezekiel chapter 20, verses 1 through 13. Okay. And it reads as follows. And it came to pass in the 7th year, in the 5th month, the 10th day of the month, that certain of the elders of Israel came to inquire of the Lord, and sat before me. Then came the word of the Lord unto me, saying, Son of man, speak unto the elders of Israel, and say unto them, Thus saith the Lord Yeshua, or God, Are ye come to inquire of me? As I live, saith the Lord Yeshua, I will not be inquired of by you. Verse 4, Wilt thou judge them, son of man? Wilt thou judge them? Cause them to know the abominations of their fathers, and say unto them, Thus saith the Lord God, in the day when I chose Israel, and lifted up mine hand unto the seed of the house of Jacob, and made myself known unto them in the land of Egypt, when I lifted up mine hand unto them, saying, I am the Lord your God. Verse 6, in the day that I lifted up mine hand unto them to bring them forth of the land of Egypt into a land that I had despised for them, flowing with milk and honey, which is the glory of all lands. Then said I unto them, cast ye away every man the abomination of his eye, and defile not yourselves with the idols of Egypt.
Ooh.
I am the Lord your God. There's a reason why he keeps telling us this.
Oh. There you go.
Verse 8, but they rebelled against me, and would not hearken unto me. They did not every man cast away the abominations of their eyes, neither did they forsake the idols of Egypt. Then I said, I will pour out my fury upon them, to accomplish my anger against them in the midst of the land of Egypt. But I wrought for my name's sake, that it should not be polluted before the heathen, among whom they were, in whose sight I made myself known unto them, in bringing them forth out of the land of Egypt. Wherefore I caused them to go forth out of the land of Egypt, and brought them into the wilderness. Verse 11, and I gave them my statutes, and showed them my judgments, which if a man do, he shall even live in them. Verse 12, moreover, also I gave them my Sabbaths to be a sign between me and them, that they might know that I am the Lord that sanctify them. Salakia. Verse 13, but the house of Israel rebelled against me in the wilderness. They walked not in my statutes, and they despised my judgments, which if a man do, he shall even live in them. And my Sabbaths they greatly polluted. Then I said I would pour out my fury upon them in the wilderness to consume them.
You guys already know what's coming next. Wilderness is coming next, my brothers and sisters. Let's not go back into the ways of our forefathers and being disobedient. Okay? Let's go into the wilderness with a righteous mindset, with a righteous attitude, and don't forget your PhD of prayer, healing, and deliverance. Okay? Because if you go into the book of Judges, my brothers and sisters, our forefathers were doing the same thing over and over and over again. There was a cycle that they were doing. Okay? Our people were being disobedient. They started doing all these wicked abominations. And the Most High sent, another nation to come and smite them, to come and whoop them up real quick. And they start being crybabies and sissy lalas. And that's when we actually start understanding, hey, we need to cry back and use that tear instead of, being the whooping, and we need to give back to the Most High and ask the Most High for help. It kept going on throughout the book of Judges. Okay? So let's stop that cycle and get water baptized. Let's have the commandment of repentance. Let's have the commandment of water baptism. Let's get water baptized for our sins and the sins of our forefathers. Lamentations 5 and 7. Our forefathers have sinned and we've borne their iniquities. Okay? So this is why we need to have a righteous mindset when we go back into these wilderness days. Okay? Because we're already going through a worldly and globally famine right now. Okay? The famine's already here. There's already a bunch of countries fighting over famines right now. Okay? And you're not going to know what to do. But little do they know, hey, Leviathan and Behemoth are coming out, and that's going to be our food source in the wilderness. So it says in the book of Psalms. Okay? Let's get into Revelation 20.
Revelations, Salakia, excuse me. Revelations chapter 20, verses 1 through 4. And it reads as follows. Satan bound for 1,000 years, the first resurrection. They blessed that have part therein. Satan let loose again, Gog and Magog, the devil, cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, the last and general resurrection. That was the header. And and I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. Verse 2. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal up upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed a little season. Verse 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgments was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded, and for the witness of Yeshua, or Jesus, and for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither have received his mark upon their forehead or in their hand. And they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years. I'm going to read verse 4 again. The Father's giving you some insight. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgments was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yeshua, or Jesus, and for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither have received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years.
Laptop was about to die. It's the car understood. And now we're back on track. All right, so let's go back into your sealed portion, chapter 86 real fast, okay? And then we're going to read verses 68. And then we're going to read verses 72 to 77, okay? Sealed portion, chapter 86, verses 68. Okay, and it says, and it shall come to pass that happiness shall be defiled as an amount of success that one man hath over another in those things which he possesses, and there shall be no lasting happiness upon the earth. Okay, and that goes back into self-gain. Okay, there is gonna be no happiness. You know, you can have the richest man on earth, he's still gonna want something. Okay, he's still gonna be voided with something. Okay, let's look at verse 72 to 77, and it says, for in that day there shall be the rich and the famous. What? For in that day there shall be the rich and the famous, and those who are well known because of the means of the technology that shall broadcast the image of the beast upon every housetop throughout the land. And these shall present an image of their persona that others shall see, and after which others shall live pattern their lives. Verse 73, it says, and the whole earth shall begin to worship the image of the beast in such a way that they shall forget about the Father and know not from whence they came and by whose hand they came into being. For there shall be many in the latter days who shall believe that they are learned as the things of the world. Okay, that goes back to Colossians chapter 2, verses 8 and 9. Okay, and they shall be known as great scientists. What? They shall be known as great scientists and researchers and doctors and philosophers and athletes and actors. See, this is where a lot of our people are trying to pursue the role of, because they see someone on TV. Hey, if I can sell you the American dream, I can sell you anything. Okay? If I can sell you the American dream, I can sell you anything. That's what a lot of these people that I just read to you on this list are: great scientists, researchers, doctors, philosophers, athletes, and actors. Where are a lot of the philosophers at inside your Christian church? Dr. Phil with the doctors. What else? Athletes. What was that? Like LeBron James and all these other brothers out there are trying to, come on, man. You guys got $1 million and you want to sit on the bench. Why can't you get all that good knowledge that you have with your money? Go build your own football stadium. Stop being linked up with Roger Goodell and all these other ish people and go do your own institute. Hey, there's a lot of land over here in the Midwest. Why don't you just go buy some land, go get your construction, all that stuff, foundation from the very bottom and lay it up. Hey, make your own little football games. Why are you sitting on the damn bench for it? See, our people, hey, and that goes back to that delusion that they've been selling you. Okay? They use television to blind you. People over here sitting on in front of the TV like, oh man, this is scary. Okay? Or that television, hey, it's keeping you in a trance. It's keeping you in a trance. It's like a bunch of you sitting in front of the TV and you see the little line go, and it just goes in and it goes out. See, and your eyes like, whoa. See? Okay, let's keep going. And it says, verse 75, and says, and these shall turn the hearts of the children of men away from the plan of the Father, and create their own plans for the people of the earth according to the plan of Lucifer, which they shall follow, and by which they shall be rewarded with great success. And the children of men shall begin to desire and become like unto these rich and successful, and shall pattern their lives after them, that they may have the happiness they believe in these enjoy. Verse 77 says, and the people shall begin to fear one another, and they shall fear death. What? They shall fear death also, for they shall not believe that there existeth life after the life they shall live in morality. Okay? And that links up with Hebrews chapter 2. Okay? Hebrews chapter 2, verses 14 and 15.
Hebrews chapter 2, verses 14 and 15. And it reads as follows. For as much then as the children are partakers of flesh and blood, he also himself likewise took part of the same, that through death he might destroy him that hath the power of death, that is, the devil, and deliver them who through fear of death were all their lifetime subjected to bondage. Ooh.
Is that what they promote through the television? They promote death, right? They promote action movies with guns. They promote scary monster movies. They promote paranormal movies. They promote death like crazy. And then now with this coronavirus, hey, they're promoting death like no other. They just promote death, and they're making you over here biting your fingernails like, oh man, these numbers keep jumping from 60,000 to 100,000 to 200,000 related deaths. You're over here biting your fingernails and can't wait until American Idol come on TV next.
Yeah.
You're idolizing America. There you go.
Mama speaking again. To go with what we just read, y'all. The Most High had me read this for a reason. I started reading this last night, not knowing what my brother's lesson was. Regarding what we just read, we're going to go back into the truth's good news. We're going to read from chapter 3, and we're going to read verses 1 and 2. It is said that the divine ones are jealous, the Father of creation and the Spirit Holy, the Ruach HaKodesh, or the Holy Spirit. But this is true only if we understand jealousy is in a new way. The divine ones cannot be jealous as mortals are jealous. For such jealousy is generated by the illusion of separateness, separation from the spirit, which is entirely foreign to the nature of the parents. The parents are a manifestation of the eternal seed, in which all things exist, and from which all things emanate. How can a thing be jealous of another part of itself? So is this arm jealous of this arm? Is this eye jealous of this eye? Nah, it don't work that way. That's the easy way. That's what they're saying, okay? Unless it is subject to the illusion of separateness. Light cannot even be jealous of darkness, because each is a part of all that is. Darkness can be jealous of light, however, for the nature of darkness is to be warped by illusion and error. If we say that the parents of light are jealous, we mean that they value that which is of light, and they do not desire that it be enmeshed in darkness. Such jealousy is actually a manifestation of divine love. Verse 2, because of the parents' desire that no light be lost in the era of darkness. Remember, we were all born of the light. Okay? We were born into sin. So they're talking about the creation, all creation, the children of men. Okay? So because the parents desire that no light be lost in the era of darkness, they sent their son to act as a guide to those mortals seeking a way out of the mist of ignorance and error. When he found people assembled to study, he went among them and spoke with the authority of the true teacher. Here we go. Those who were wise in their own estimation tested him, but he confounded them by their perception inherent in his answers, so that their wisdom was manifested as the illusion it truly was.
Read that last part again, brother.
Those who were wise in their own estimation tested him, but he confounded them by the perception inherent in his answers, so that their wisdom was manifested as the illusion it was. They hated him because they were not really wise.
Got a precept for you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Watch this one. Okay. Says that they were not wise. What?
They were not wise.
Okay. So now we're going to go to Proverbs real quick. And pull this one out too. Proverbs 16. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 25. There is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but that the end thereof are the ways of death. Read that last portion again, if you could.
Yes, sir. Chapter 3. Those who were wise in their own estimation tested him, but he confounded them by the perception inherent in his answers, so that their wisdom was manifested as the illusion it was. They hated him because they were not really wise.
There is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. Sounds scary, don't it?
I was just going there. Micah, chapter 6, verse 9 through 16. And it reads as follows. The Lord's voice crieth unto the city, and the man of wisdom shall see the name. Hear ye the rod, and who hath appointed it? Are there yet the treasures of wickedness in the house of wicked, and the scant measure that is abominable? Shall I count them pure with the wicked balances, and with the bag of deceitful weights? For the rich men therefore, or thereof, are full of violence, and the inhabitants thereof have spoken lies, and their tongue is deceitful in their mouth. Therefore also will I make thee sit in smiting thee, in making thee desolate because of thy sins. Thou shalt eat, but not be satisfied, and thy casting down shall be in the midst of thee. And thou shalt take hold, but thou shalt not deliver. And that which thou deliverest will I give up to the sword. Verse 15. Thou shalt sow, but thou shalt not reap. Thou shalt tread the olives, but thou shalt not anoint thee with oil, and sweet wine, but thou shalt not drink wine. For the statutes of Omri are kept, and all the works of the house of Ahab, and ye walk in their counsels, that I should make thee a desolation, and the inhabitants thereof, and hissing. Therefore ye shall bear the reproach of my people.
Speaking about the wicked, my brothers and sisters. This is Psalms chapter 58, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they are born, speaking lies. Psalms 119, verse 69. The proud have forged a lie against me, but I will keep thy precepts with my whole heart. Okay?
Ezekiel 18 and verse 21. And it reads as follows. But if the wicked will turn from all his sins that he hath committed, and keep all my statutes, and do that which is lawful and right, he shall surely live, he shall not die.
What? Say it again.
He shall surely live, and he shall not die.
Woo.
The wicked. So you see how gracious the Father is? This whole time, we've been taught that God loves everyone. He loves his creation. He doesn't love what we all do. But we've been taught in a manner to make us pit against one another. You know, you have your separation of the churches. The Father said his word was one. So why do we have a church that focuses solely on baptism? One that focuses solely on the Pentecost? You know where this is going. We are supposed to be one body in Christ. And again, he's extending his arm unto all children of men, as many as would hearken unto his word, truth, and light, his laws, precepts, statutes, and commandments. But again, realize that he gave you free agency. The Father gives you the opportunity to make up your own mind based on righteous judgment upon yourself. Okay? So it's up to you to call upon the Father. It's up to you to get on your knees. It's up to you to search out a matter for yourself. But know that we are here to provide you with what the Most High gives unto us to give unto you. We're here to help you through the Father's mercy and grace. Okay?
And on top of that, brothers and sisters, okay, is that Christianity is far off in this delusion too, because they be sitting there telling you, hey, come as you are. God hates the sin. Okay, God hates the sin but loves the sinner. Is that what they used to tip your ear with?
Yes, sir.
That God hates sin but loves the sinner. Okay, just as my brother was expounding, okay, that the Most High loves his creation. He loves his creation. But what happened right here? Psalms chapter 5 and verse 5. The foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity. What? Thou hatest all workers of iniquity. Whether you brown, white, black, green, yellow, pink, all different types of colors. Most of it says if you're doing iniquity, you're sinning, hey, that separates from us from him. Okay? But he's also telling you over here in 1 Samuel chapter 12, verse 14. get that one or you want me? You want to get this one?
Go ahead and get that one.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I was there.
It's all good, brother. You can get that one if you want to.
Proverbs.
Yep, that one's scary. 1 Samuel chapter 12, verse 14. Okay, it says, if you will fear the Lord and serve him and obey his voice and not rebel against the commandment of the Lord, then shall you both and also the king that reign over you continue to follow your Lord your God. What? It says, if you will fear the Lord and serve him and obey his voice and not rebel against the commandment of the Lord. So if you're out there, you're trying to rebel against the water baptism, which is the commandment, you're rebelling against the Most High. When he said this is the commandment to get your butt inside that water if you want to see that kingdom. Okay? I'm going to keep reading over here in read from 14 through 16, okay? If you will fear the Lord and serve him and obey his voice and not rebel against the commandment of the Lord, then shall you both and you also the king that reigneth over you continue following the Lord your God. But if you will not obey the voice of the Lord, but rebel against the commandment of the Lord, then shall the hand of the Lord be against you as it was against your fathers. And now, therefore, stand and see this great thing which the Lord will do before your eyes. Okay? Now we're going to link up. We're going to go to Proverbs chapter 1, verses 24 through 31.
Proverbs 1, 24 through 31. And it reads as follows. Because I have called, and ye have refused. I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and with none of my reproof. 26. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. 27. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind. When distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. For that they hated knowledge, and did not choose the fear of the Lord. They would none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of the fools shall destroy them.
What? The prosperity of the fools shall destroy them.
But whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil.
I'll get this last one. I'll get this one, and we can get that last one. Okay. You guys already heard it in that last scripture that the brother just read to you guys. That's why you need to seek the Most High early. Stop being disobedient. Okay? Stop being disobedient. Because the more you become disobedient, you're going to be like your rebellious forefathers, and you're not going to go nowhere. But this is a message to the good old US of A, because you ain't nothing but spit to the Most High. You ain't nothing but spit to the Most High God. Okay? You ain't nothing but spit to the Most High God.
No good, no good.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 8. And what nation is there so great that hath statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law which I set before you this day? Which nation out there is so great that can just boast and say, oh, I got the laws, I got the statutes, I got the commandments, oh, I got the testimony of Christ, I done got water baptized. Hey, I'm doing all this in righteousness. What nation out there is claiming out there saying that they're doing this? No nation out there. Okay? No nation out there is claiming that they're so great. All these nations out there, whatever nation you represent, whatever flag you banging, you ain't nothing. The reason why you starting right now is because you're working out the children, you're working out the sweat, the tears, all the eyebrow sweat coming off the backs of the children of Israel, the true Israelites of the Bible and of the Book of Mormon. Okay, we established this whole entire world. Without us, y'all be nothing. So you let that be straight. What nation out there is so great that have these laws, statutes, and commandments, just as it says in the sign behind me?
Say that. And then we're going to go to Joshua chapter 1, verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success.
Oh, read that again, my brother. All that stuff that we just read to you about you being selfish and trying to gain and trying to pick up this dollar and put it in your dirty mouth, trying to be like the heathenistic Gentiles out there, and you trying to get a quick dollar. Hey, Moses says no. If you ain't got my law, statutes, and commandments, you're not gonna have great success. See, now you wonder why you living paycheck to paycheck. You ain't getting nowhere. Now you understand why. You know that Satan got this veil over your eyeballs and you can't see nothing. You're trapped up in your wickedness. Get that up again, brother?
Joshua 1 and 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success.
There you go. There you go. Now you know the key to your happiness. Now you understand if you want to see the rainbow on your side of the mountain, hey, keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Get water baptized. Get your PhD, prayer, healing, and deliverance. Hit us up and we'll go there and baptize you.
Yes. Please contact us.
Let's get you in that water. Let's get you to the war. We're already in the war right now. We're already feeling the attacks right now.
Mightily.
It's crazy, nonstop. This is what we're fighting for. We're putting in work right now. The retirement benefits that we're doing right now, putting in work, we're giving you guys this word. Hey, our retirement benefits are going to be amazing on your side. That darkness of earth that we're living right now. When we get to that kingdom, hey, the benefits are going to be great. So this is why the Most High wants you to humble yourselves, lower that wall of pride, get in that water, and get baptized. Okay? I just want to give a shout out to the elders of One Nation, One Power. All the brothers and sisters out there putting in work, prayer warriors.
Yes.
And things of that nature, okay?
And family, before we close, there's one more verse the Spirit gave me regarding that last verse we just read in Joshua 1 through 8. Okay? So remember the last lesson we did together, me and my brother, was about listening because the Lord is tired. Okay. Listen. Okay? Again, he's talking to all children of men. This is from The Truth's Good News, chapter 3 again. But this is verse 3. And Jesus, or Yeshua, was rejected by those who were presumed to be scholars.
Hey, brother, lift up that voice like a trumpet.
After Jesus was rejected by those who were presumed to be scholars, those who were metaphysical children came to him, for the gnosis of the parents is rightfully theirs. As they grew stronger through Sophia's ministry, they learned to recognize their parents' voice. They were learning to know the parents as the parents knew them. They were growing in light, and they grew. They increased the light of their parents in their hearts. They discovered the living book of life, the book written in the mind of the parents since before the laying of the foundation of the physical plane. This is the book which no one can open except the Lamb who was killed. But he will open it for those. He will open it for those who are his true disciples.
Ooh.
No one finds salvation except those whose names are written in that book.
Ooh.
For it contains the name of all those who are, it contains the name of all those who are or who become elect.
Ooh.
This is why Yeshua or Jesus patiently accepted suffering, the buffetings of darkness, until he was able to take that book and open it in behalf of those who come to him. In this way, his death became life to many souls.
Ooh, there you go. There you go. That put the cherry on top.
Ooh, thank you, Mother. All praises, all praises.
All praises to the Most High Power.
Man.
This was a powerful lesson, my brothers and sisters.
Yes, it was.
Powerful. I pray that other brothers out there, doing the same thing that me and Brother Beyond you are doing right now. Okay? We're coming together. We're going to do a 1-2 punch. Okay? And the voice of 2 or 3 witnesses, let a thing be established.
Amen.
Within 2 witnesses, 2 or 3 more witnesses, Yeshua is in the midst of us.
His presence is here.
Yep, you guys already know it. I love you guys. Happy Shabbat Shalom. I love you guys. Start keeping these feast days. Let's do this as one nation. Serving that one power. Okay, and then as always, I love you guys for everything that you do. Shout out to all my people out there who have been sending me information. I want to say shalom to the brother out there that sent me the book. And all the other brothers out there and sisters out there that send me the gifts, and vice versa for the brother out there. Those that have been helping the brother, financially.
Yes, Shabbat Shalom to everybody. Thank you to all the elders and all my brothers and sisters that have been helping me out financially, have been helping me out physically and spiritually. It is greatly appreciated, and I give all honor, glory, and praise to the Father of all things manifest for what he is allowing his children to do in these latter days. It is a beautiful thing to see us finally be able to come together and be that one nation, one power that the Father has called us to be from the beginning of days. To see our light, our candlestick relit once again, bringing the fold back into one. The southern kingdom, the stick of Judah, and the northern kingdom, the stick of Joseph in the hands of Ephraim.
The Book of Mormon.
Yes, sir. I love you all. We speak peace in the mighty name of Yeshua into all your lives. And again, the door is open. The hands are extended. Get in touch with us. We do this together. This isn't one man. Not one man knows everything. But we do this together. We build upon each other.
Yep, sequels, my brothers and sisters.
There you go. And we'll build with you as well.
Amen.
All the Father's asking you to do is soften your heart and unstiffen your neck so that he can show you the way, which is straight and narrow to the path of righteous and eternal life.
Amen.
All right?
Hallelujah. So be it.
So be it.
Shalom, my brothers.
Shalom, shalom. Love y'all.
Shalom, shalom. Well, good night.